All right, what's going on, everybody? Back again today doing another video. It's been a while. I finally got back from my trip. I had to go away for work for about 5 weeks. I'm back and I'm making videos. And there's a decent amount of stuff to talk about. If you've seen my latest little podcast episode, I guess you'd call it, with my buddy that we do on here pretty regularly, we talked about a lot of stuff there, mostly regarding games, video games. We talked a little bit though about He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and this is something very new. Like I just found out about it last night. We finally got some images, some visual indications of what the two new Masters of the Universe animated properties from that coming out on Netflix. We got some indications of what they're going to look like. Of course, we got the one which is being done by Kevin Smith. It's going to be more of an anime style animation, and it's supposed to be kind of like a wrap up conclusion to the 80s filmation cartoon, similar to how like years later they did the final season to Samurai Jack, and it was way more mature and adult than the previous seasons. This seems to have the same vibe. It's like many years later now, they're going to do a separate show. It's not just an additional season, it's a separate show with completely different animation, but it's going to round out the show from back then, give it a conclusion, and this final last bit of it is going to be a bit more mature, definitely geared more towards adult fans. Then on the other hand, you have this new, more family, kid-friendly oriented He-Man and the Masters of the Universe show that's going to be coming out on Netflix. It is going to feature. We've known that the same people working on that are the same people who did like uh, the Arcadia, the Troll Hunter, and the stuff like Arcadia stuff on Netflix, that kind of animation style. It's going to be the same people who worked on that are doing this He-Man and the Masters of the Universe show. I was very excited for that because the animation and special effects and whatnot for those Arcadia shows tend to be pretty good. The armor and weapons and stuff look pretty good. The magical special effects look pretty good. Uh, but yeah, we'll get into it. So let's go ahead and look at the two things that we got revealed. By the way, I've heard Scott Knightlick, Toy Guru, and I can't remember if it was him or Pixel Dan, but they've said on their channels right now, like I think it was Scott Knightlick, these two pieces of things that we're about to take a look at, these two images, they were not. This was not a planned release. This was not a planned show off. People are thinking, they're thinking this is a leak. Somebody leaked this, and thank God they did because there's some fucking problems. So let's talk with the lesser of two evils here first of all. So this is a picture of three of the action figures that we're going to be getting in a new adult collector oriented toy line for Masters of the Universe called Masterverse. And these are going to be similar to Masters of the Universe Classics in that they are a larger scale, like a 7-inch scale, and they're going to be much more articulated and well painted and well sculpted and have better detail than the Masters of the Universe Origins line, which is currently in stores now. That's a piece of shit toy line. It's the cheapest. I'm not even going to get into it because all I'm going to do is just get mad. But anyway, I was very excited for this Masterverse line. However, after looking at these three that we have here, uh, not too excited. I have to say the only one of these that looks to me looks great. I mean, great would probably be Skeletor. And if you think about it, we're looking at four figures here because we're looking at Skeletor, we're looking at Evil Lyn, and we're looking at He-Man, and then we also have Battle Cat. If you want to think of Battle Cat as a separate figure, there's no indication on here that whether or not He-Man and Battle Cat will be sold together or if they'll only be sold separately. There's nothing like that on here, but you just get to see what they all look like. First and foremost, it's probably the most noticeable thing on here. What the fuck is up with Battle Cat's helmet? What is this? What is like the side pieces are like spider mandibles coming so far away from his face? What the hell is this shit? He-Man, it's not the best resolution. It's not the best looking picture. His head seems tiny, and the face just seems very kind of like Durr. It is like a Durr face. I don't like the power sword. It's this. It looks like this really thin, skinny, flimsy, dainty, one-handed little sword, and it does not look powerful at all. Uh, as for the hairstyle on He-Man, I think they did that okay. They didn't go with the Page Boy haircut, so thank God on that. Evil Lyn, Legend of Korra over here. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Waterbender, Evil Lyn over here. Fuck that shit. That looks dumb as fuck. I would never display her with the white hair. Like you take that this head right here, the traditional Evelyn headpiece, you take that off and you put the white hair on. Seriously, like if this was not here, if this was hidden, this headpiece, I'd be like, are we looking at a Legend of Korra action figure right here? What the hell's going on? And Skeletor, I mean, it's kind of hard to fuck up Skeletor if you just make him. He's a pretty iconic villain, and this figure looks fine. I don't understand these just completely straight like knife hands. That seems very stupid to me. I don't know why you would have those. And I really hope that like they're displaying the other alternate right hand with this like scepter in it. I hope it's not permanently affixed to the hand. I hope that's just how they chose to show off the accessory in this promotional picture, because I will never if I get this figure, I will never display it with the flat hands. I can't quite tell, but I want to say it almost looks like the cape is cloth on Skeletor here. But overall, yeah, very lackluster, very just kind of meh. If it's between this or like I already have Skeletor from the Masters of the Universe Classics toy line. I already have a Battle Cat, and I wouldn't want to get this Battle Cat anyway. Like that helmet alone, the way it's designed, like that was spider mandibles. No. I have a He-Man, I have a Skeletor, I have an Evil Lyn, and between those three that I already have versus these, I'm glad I have the three that I have from Masters of the Universe Classics, and I wouldn't trade them for these three at all. You know, they're trying really hard to just be like, hey guys, I'm sorry, but Masters of the Universe Classics, it's over and done. We're not doing it anymore, and you just need to make your peace with it. We're gonna try something new though. No, fuck off. Like we're not gonna like it. We want classics back. Everyone, that was the most successful Masters of the Universe toy line ever. Period. Since the inception of Masters of the Universe, Classics was the best toy line. Arguably, it's better than the original toy line from the 80s. It's the best one. It's always going to be the best one. Just just fucking keep it going. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing different well, because we want to branch out and try new things and experiment and no, do Masters of the Universe Classics. What the fuck are you doing? Anyone who's against just continuing Masters of the Universe Classics, fire them. Fire them, tell them to fuck off and get the fuck out of the building. Like this stuff like, you can sit here and go, it doesn't look bad. You're right, it doesn't look bad, but is it as good as stuff we already were getting? No. Okay, then why are we taking a step backwards? Why are we doing a downgrade here? You know what I mean? So yeah, don't really like this stuff. And if you think I'm already kind of pissed off, let's get into the next thing. Holy shit. What the fuck is this? Now I get it. I'm the guy who just recently, like my most watched, most commented on, most controversial video on my channel is about He-Man and about I was talking like He-Man's design, his typical character like appearance design in 2021 is overly sexual. And I still stand by that statement. Like, you know, in the 80s, naked muscles, cool, badass. You know, no, just awesome, fucking masculine, cool badassery. In 2021, naked human male muscles, sexual. It's sexual. That's all it is. All right. I've never ever looked at a superhero character in a movie in the day and age that we're in and gone, you know what? Like his costume was cool, but I think it would have just been better if he was more naked. And the same thing goes with women. Like I'm so tired of the lingerie armor that we see in anime and fantasy sci-fi shit. Like stop with the lingerie armor. It's armor or it's not. All right. Now I was that guy. I made that video about He-Man talking about how he needs an appearance update. His look needs to be tweaked and changed. If you want to go with a barbarian look, like that's your whole thing, it's a barbarian look, a science fantasy barbarian, that's fine. But there's a difference between barbarian and sexual dude wearing furry Speedos. And basically it just comes down to the loincloth. Like if the loincloth around his waist is long enough, then it's a loincloth. If it's just barely covering his ass cheeks and cock, then it's Speedos. Dude wearing Speedos is sexual. A dude wearing a loincloth is a barbarian. There's a difference here. Apparently, I'm not the only one that thought, though, that He-Man needed an appearance update. Apparently, the guys at Mattel and Netflix also felt the same way. So now we've got, like, Transformers, Star Wars, cyber He-Man. Like, dude, just every time if I look at that Battle Cat for too long, I get really pissed off. I just get really mad. A lot of people are hating on the Power Sword. The Power Sword's the least fucked up thing about this picture. Let me tell you that right now. Why is He-Man wearing metal sci-fi boots? All right? Like, is this still Eternia with kings and queens and a prince and crazy different creatures and shit? And like, no, this straight up looks like there's gonna be a ton of advanced technology in this world. Look at this armor on this. This looks like nothing but highly advanced technology. Uh, oh my god, this just looks terrible. And that's just the costume designs and like the designs of the characters. Let's not get into like the body designs. Like that tiny. Who the fuck did this? If you did this, like just quit. Just go quit your job and go home. Like that tiny ass little head on these giant fucking shoulders, and then this tiny. Yo, is He-Man? Is something wrong with him? Is he fuck? Is this a show about like He-Man's body is mutating out of proportion, and he's on a quest to go find a cure to this crazy ass disease? Is that what this show's about? Is that what this version of He-Man's about? Who the fuck did this, and who the fuck thought it was a good? They should be fired. They should be fired immediately. If I would fire, I would have never let this come to be. I would have never let this happen. If someone pitched me this version of He-Man, I'd have been like, "You're fired. You're instantly fired. Get your shit, clean out your desk, be the fuck out of the building by 3 o'clock." Get the fuck out. This is the worst thing I've ever. God, this is bad. Uh, I guess he still has a loincloth hanging there. He's got pants on. I guess I don't really give a shit about that. I was looking at this last night when I first saw it. Battle Cat, fuck Battle Cat. They need to scrap this and go back to square one. With He-Man, me being the guy who made the video saying that like his look needs to be updated because it's too sexual. I'm trying to be a little less critical about this. The costume itself, I think if they I think if they just ditch the shirt that he's wearing under this harness, it might be okay. That would kind of just, I don't know, that would help a little bit. Definitely, it doesn't look so much like he's wearing a loincloth as it does look like he's wearing like a tabard that just goes like there's a strip of it, like a flap going across the dick and a flap going across the back on the ass, and then the sides are completely open, but he's also wearing pants, so it's okay. That's fine. I think the boots are a little too sci-fi, techie, stormtrooper looking, Halo Spartan looking. They should probably be a little more fantasied up. Less sci-fi, more fantasy is overall what I want to see out of this just completely. If this was an early unintentional leak, thank Christ, because now they're going to get all the feedback that we could possibly give them, and they're going to go, oh shit, we need to fire some people and make some changes. And that's exactly what you need to do, Mattel. And if you don't do it, you're fucking idiots. I don't care what anyone says. The power sword's not that bad. It's a sword, Like I don't get me wrong. The original design for the power sword, that's the power sword. But does this sword look like a sword? Yep. Does it look powerful? Sure does. All right then, power sword. So the sword's the least fucking thing wrong with this. Battle Cat is an atrocity. The He-Man costume on this guy, it's just too big of a departure. Even in my video where I talked about how his look needed to be changed, first of all, I get the feeling that a lot of people who commented on that video negatively, you didn't watch the full video. You watched it long enough to hear me talk. You watched it long enough to realize that I'm talking shit on He-Man a little bit, and then you just immediately went to the comments. Either that, or you have selective hearing, and you chose to hear all the negative things I had to say about He-Man's look, and none of the actual like good points I was arguing. Because at the end of the video, I showed like 2 different examples of He-Man that I thought were awesome. And basically, they were not that crazy of a departure from his normal look. The number one thing I thought that made all the world of difference with He-Man is the length of the loincloth. If it's long, then we're good. I'll give you an example. You know what? Screw it. Let's go back to the... So, here's my 2000X He-Man figure that I just keep right here on the desk. That's fine. I know it didn't work well back in 2002. I know kids still had a problem with it, But in my opinion, that's fine. My opinion, there's nothing sexual about this. This is a barbarian. This is a science fantasy barbarian warrior. This is fine. And you know why? It's because of the length of the fucking loincloth. But you want to look at this kind of shit over here. It's fucking... we'll use this. I don't care. Let's load an image. We got to go to Google. Yeah, look at this. Look at this shit. This is dumb. This is way too just no. This is just underwear. This is just, hey guys, we want to show as much of this dude's naked body off as much as possible without getting in trouble. So just hide the dick, hide the ass cheeks. Everything else, show that shit off. Hell yeah. Muscles are, they're cool. They're badass. There's nothing sexual. There's nothing sexual about this at all. It's just cool and badass. Yeah, in the fucking 80s. In the 80s. It's not the 80s anymore. Shit's changed. Yeah, too short. Furry Speedos. Furry Speedos. Furry Speedos. Fucking furry Speedos. Not cool. This shit, let's just be real. This is fine. This doesn't look like underwear at all. This looks like, oh, he's a science fantasy barbarian warrior. Okay. Makes sense with this. So, you don't need that crazy of a departure from his classic look. It just needs to be tweaked and modified a little bit. And by tweaked and modified a little bit, I do not mean go to this and change every goddamn thing. So, yeah, Mattel. Whoo! Oh, man. You just really felt like taking a shit all over this property. These are pictures of toys. So let's be perfectly clear about that. This is in no way, shape, or form indicative of how the Masters of the Universe Revelation anime, the one Kevin Smith's doing, this picture here is no way an indication of how good that show is going to be, or how much I'm going to like how the animation looks in the show, where there's movement and fight scenes and stuff happening. It might be okay. But in terms of toys, it is not, I can tell you right now, in my opinion, it has not translated well into toys. And then with this, holy fuck, I don't even know if I'm going to watch this, and I was actually pretty excited for it. Man. Like, so he's He-Man, this is He-Man, he rides Battle Cat. Do they also have a starship that they travel around in? Do they follow a dude named Darth Vader? What, this is like some Star Wars high-tech shit. This was never supposed to be this techie. My god, that just looks bad. And honestly, the costume, I think the costume is too drastic of a departure from the classic look, but that's not really what pisses me off the most. It's the shoulders, chest, huge as fuck. Arms, huge as fuck. Head and waist, tiny as fuck. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What? Oh my god. The dude who drew this, who designed this, needs to have his fucking vision checked. Is this how he thinks? Does he have a problem with his fucking eyes? Is he walking down the street every day and he sees every human being as just this upper body, masculine, huge thing, and then the head and waist are tiny as fuck? Oh my god. Alright, well, you guys get the idea. I have a huge problem with this. But anyway, that's that. I just wanted to put that out there, and kind of it's both an acknowledgement talking about that stuff. It's also kind of a little bit of a response to you guys' response to my first He-Man video about his look. I hope this has cleared a few things up. I don't really want his look to change all that much. I just want to be able. There's a line between sexual and, you know, there's a line between doing something sexual and doing something for story purpose. And if your whole story purpose thing is like, oh, he's a science fantasy barbarian warrior, fine, make him look that way. But I'm telling you right now, the 80s design leans more to, in this day and age, leans more to the sexual. That's just how it goes. Times change, trends change with the times. You know, in the 80s, if we got badass over here and sexual over here, naked male muscle in the 80s, it's right here with badass. Over the years, though, it just went naked men, muscular naked men, getting a little more sexual, more and more sexual, It's just completely sexual. It's completely sexual now. That's all it is. All right. Nobody is going to male bodybuilder contests and going, dude, that's so badass. Look at that. Look at the way the oil just looks on his glistening abs. Like, no, it's not It's not badass. It's sexual now. That's all it is. All right. Do I still have some respect for those dudes because they got themselves in incredible shape? Yeah, but it's not like a, oh, dude, it's so badass. It's fucking cool, dude. It's fucking badass, bro. No, it's more like, okay, like respect for all the hard work you did, but like put a shirt on. I don't really want to look at it. All right. So anyway, that's my take on that. Go ahead and just blast some more comments at me and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to He-Man. I don't care. This the whole reason I do this channel and me and my buddy do our videos together is because we're big fans of nerdy shit. We love nerdy shit and we want to talk about it and say what we really think. And we're not beholden to any sponsors or we're not contracted by it. We're literally just getting on here and telling the real deal. So I have no problem getting on here and saying, hey, whoever designed that fucking He-Man for the Netflix family show, quit your job. Quit your job and do something else because you suck. You absolutely suck. That thing looks like trash. Anyway, that's that. Let me know what you guys think below. Leave some comments. Check out some of my other videos. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.